The world outside was crumbling under the weight of a devastating pandemic, its streets once bustling with life now haunted by the echoes of what was. Inside the sterile, fluorescent-lit corridors of the Genesis Research Facility, Dr. Alex Mercer worked tirelessly, a beacon of hope in humanity's darkest hours. His brilliant mind, once celebrated across the globe for groundbreaking discoveries in virology and biochemistry, was now a fortress besieged by an invisible enemy. Mercer's lab was cluttered with petri dishes, test tubes, and stacks of research papers. Screens displayed complex biochemical structures and data charts, flickering like the heartbeat of his desperate quest. His family's photo, standing at the corner of his desk, served as a silent reminder of the personal stakes riding on his shoulders. As night bled into the early hours of the morning, Mercer's focus narrowed on a new compound, a potential key to unlocking the cure. His hands, steady despite the exhaustion, prepared the sample with meticulous care. The compound, vibrant and enigmatic under the lab lights, held promises and secrets untold. But fate, as fickle as the compound he hoped to wield, had other plans. A tremor of uncertainty rippled through the lab as the containment protocols suddenly faltered. Alarms blared, slicing through the silence and Mercer's concentration. In a heartbeat, the compound was airborne, a spectral mist enveloping everything. Mercer's reaction was instinctive, lunging for the emergency containment button, but it was too late. The mist, a Pandora's box of genetic possibilities, enveloped him, seeping into his lungs, his bloodstream, rewriting the very essence of his being. The world faded to black, the last thing he saw being the blurry outline of his family's photo as if through a veil of deep water. When Mercer awoke, the lab was silent, the chaos of the accident contained but forever imprinted on the fabric of his DNA. He felt different, powerful, and terrifyingly alone. Little did he know the accident had birthed something new within him. Not a monster, but a guardian. ZombiGuardian had awakened.
In the aftermath of the accident, as the silence of the lab enveloped him, Dr. Alex Mercer stood alone, a myriad of questions swirling in his mind. The world as he knew it had irrevocably changed, not just outside, but within the very core of his being. He felt an unfamiliar surge of energy coursing through his veins, a pulsating power that was both exhilarating and daunting. As Mercer staggered out of the lab, the desolate halls of the Genesis Research Facility felt like a mausoleum of his former life. It was then he heard it, a faint whisper at the edge of his consciousness, a cacophony of thoughts not his own. The infected, mindless creatures that roamed the world outside were speaking to him. It was there, amidst the shadows and the decay, that Mercer discovered the true extent of his transformation. The infected, once mindless predators, driven by an insatiable hunger, paused at his presence. Their eerie moans and disjointed movements stilled, as if awaiting direction from Mercer. With a thought, a mere impulse, he directed them to move away, and they obeyed, a swarm guided by the will of their new master. It was a revelation both terrifying and awe-inspiring. Mercer realized he could communicate with and control the infected, bending their wills to his own. In the days that followed, Mercer tested the limits of his newfound powers. He discovered his physical abilities had been augmented to superhuman levels. He could leap from the ground to the roof of a building with ease, his muscles imbued with unnatural strength. Even more astonishing was his ability to regenerate from injuries that would have been fatal to any ordinary human. Cuts healed in seconds, and broken bones mended themselves in minutes. This regenerative ability extended to his immunity against further infection. The very virus that had brought the world to its knees was powerless against him. Yet with great power came great responsibility. Mercer felt the weight of his unique position. He was no longer just a scientist, he was a guardian. As ZombiGuardian, he vowed to use his abilities to protect what remained of humanity, to search for a cure not just in the lab, but on the front lines, battling the hordes of infected that threatened the survivors. However, Mercer also recognized his weaknesses. His emotional ties to his past, to the family he once had, and the friends he worked alongside became points of vulnerability. Manipulation through these ties was a risk he had to acknowledge and guard against. Moreover, he discovered that excessive use of his power to control the infected could drain his energy.
Leaving him weakened and vulnerable to attack, And the mysterious compound that had transformed him also became a necessity. Without regular doses, his mental clarity and physical strength began to wane, hinting at a dependency that could be both a lifeline and a leash. As ZombiGuardian ventured further into the post-apocalyptic world, his role evolved. He became a beacon of hope in a landscape of despair, a symbol of resistance against the darkness. His journey was fraught with challenges, from factions of survivors with their own agendas to creatures that had mutated into something even more terrifying than the standard infected. Yet Mercer's quest for a cure remained at the heart of his mission. Armed with his biochemical knowledge and a newfound perspective on the virus, he sought to unravel the secrets of the infection, to find a way to reverse its effects not just for himself, but for all of humanity. Through battles, alliances, and the constant search for answers, ZombiGuardian's story became a testament to the resilience of the human spirit, a narrative of sacrifice, discovery, and the relentless pursuit of redemption in a world forever changed.